Welcome to Climate Action Tech. So before we dive in, I just want to quickly say that we often use the abbreviation CAT when we refer to Climate Action Tech. So if you hear me refer to cats a lot, it's not just because cats rule the internet, but also because I'm referring to this community. And before I jump into what we do in terms of projects and other highlights and what makes up our community, I want to shed a little bit of light in terms of who's behind all of this. So we've got organizers who are responsible for keeping the community running and making decisions on how we move forward within the community and our strategy. We've got directors who are responsible for our money and our legal entity that's behind Climate Action Tech. We are a community interest company. And then we have our volunteers who are responsible for the day-to-day activities in keeping our community welcoming, active, and safe, and our assembly who hold the rest of our groups to account. And our general members are plentiful and lovely as well, so they are also captured in this little diagram. Why does this community exist? So firstly, we're in a climate catastrophe and our actions today will determine how severe the crisis becomes. Secondly, we ended up here by burning fossil fuels and through mass exploitation. And as tech workers, we need to be aware that the tech industry is part of these systems and often accelerates these activities. And the tech industry itself is a large contributor to CO2 emissions as well. And in both cases, we can change this for a fairer and more equitable outcome. And then lastly, climate impacts are not fairly distributed. They will be felt disproportionately. And depending on where you're located, you might already be feeling climate impacts daily, even though your nation or community may not be responsible for causing this harm. So with this in mind, you might ask yourself, what does all of this have to do with my work? And this is where our beliefs come in. At CAT, we believe that because it is cross-sector, the tech industry can be very influential beyond its own limits. We believe that the tech industry must use its powers and influence to advocate and accelerate fair climate solutions. We also believe that the tech industry isn't the answer for everything because in its current state, it's not working very well either, neither for planet nor for humans. So the tech industry must also transform itself. We want an industry that supports dignified work, fair and equal pay, health and well-being, an industry that conserves and restores the environment. And lastly, we believe that everyone has a part to play in addressing the climate crisis. We all have experiences, abilities, and roles that can be used to change the system, and we can make the biggest difference if we listen and learn from each other, and if we know our own leverage points. So all up, our mission at CAT is to help each other out and seed climate action in companies, organizations, and industries. We're here to support each other and guide one another through this, and we believe that we can work together to change business culture to be better for planet and people. And we celebrate change that comes from the bottom up. So it's not about the companies, but the people within the companies who are pushing for change. Now, who actually makes up this community? What type of people get involved with CAT? We are a worldwide community with over 11,000 members and counting, and we all come from a variety of different backgrounds and locations. Some of us have software engineering, design, or data backgrounds. Others come from product management, AI, climate science, or are studying in any of those fields. And we have folks who work deeply within the tech industry, as well as folks who are more tech adjacent. And a lot of us are at different points in our climate journey as well. Some of us are just starting to learn about climate, and others have been working in this space for decades. But what brings us together is the same passion for doing better in our workplaces and in our industry at large. And we're here to learn together, build on existing work, share knowledge, ask questions, and have lots of nuanced conversations. And this is what your journey might look like as you join the community. You'll connect with other members and to discover resources. You will learn about the basics around climate, tech, and our society. And through these different connections and conversations, you'll also learn how to green your craft and learn what it means to be sustainable in your role at work. You will explore and get an understanding of how you can make a difference at work, and you'll create and share information with others. And you'll be able to use cat to practice breaking climate silence as well and having those climate tech conversations. And ultimately, you'll end up like an action cat on the right. So you will know what actions you can take, and you'll be able to green your craft, speak up, and advocate and influence decision makers as well. In our community, we've set up a few community guidelines so we can ensure that cats get the most out of the community. So please use these guidelines when you participate in the community. I will briefly run through them. So the first one here is make it a conversation instead of treating cat like Siri. So this is all about, well, I guess, ChatGPT at this point. This is all about giving back to the community. So how can you give back once you get something out of the community? The second one here is giving context when you share something. So why are you sharing it? How are you related to the content that you share? Basically giving a little bit more information. And the last one is avoiding information overload. So long messages can feel quite overwhelming on Slack. So using the threads feature on Slack to first give an overview of your post and then go into more detail in the thread could be very useful if you have something long to say. And cross-posting can also be a noisy way of being in the community. So be very careful with cross-posting in channels. Secondly, this is around how to treat others at cat and how to be a good cat. So we have actively listening to others, responding with care, taking responsibility when you make mistake, taking breaks when you need them, reporting it when something doesn't look right. We have community moderators and organizers who are ready to take action. And last but not least, don't publicly share personal information. So we follow the Chatham House rule in our community where you're free to use and share the information that you received, but you shouldn't reveal the identity or the affiliations of other cats unless they give their consent. We have a bunch of different Slack channels, and this is how we primarily organize within the community. So you can use those different channels to get up to date, ask questions, share your work, or connect with cats in your area or cats doing similar jobs to you. And we keep our knowledge internally in our outline knowledge base, where you can log in with your cat Slack account. And we have external YouTube videos, action guides, and blog posts on our website as well. In terms of ongoing projects and events, to find out what projects are currently active and what events are coming up, or how you can get involved, you can keep an eye on our announcements channel and in our newsletter. This is where we share the latest updates. And now in terms of where we need you. So you can get involved as a member or as a volunteer. And this, as a member, this looks like getting active in Slack and sharing your thoughts, sharing your knowledge, staying curious, learning with us, collaborating. You can dive into the community brain and browse outline. You can join or organize the next cat event, either online or in person. Check out our YouTube. And lastly, volunteer in the community. There's a bunch of different volunteering roles that are open, and there's a link to that in this presentation as well. Thank you very much.